Can you shut the windows? Hey,
How's it going? What's up?
I'm a passenger in a car.
You look like you're going to the beach.
We're just leaving the beach, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I turn on the air.
What beach did you go to? You froze, but that's okay. I'm sure. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm leaving like the main beach area now, so I should get more consistent signal in a sec.
Cool. So hard to get
So three of the
people.
people,
What?
three are from Africa, you said?
Yeah.
What time is it there?
It's midnight. I don't know why they want to come. Not too late, but
It's 10.
definitely late. One of them is a nurse. She's a trained
So yeah, I
nurse.
mean, well,
Oh, go on.
I think there's like a little bit of a lag. That's probably why. But
Hmm.
that's cool. I mean, if people show up, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool too.
Totally. I totally agree. I find it interesting that it's hard to get people in online spaces these days. I don't know how your thing went yesterday, but it's like, I feel like everyone's so learning and stuff from just from social media and not necessarily meeting live in person. That's just the feeling I get.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I that was supposed to be neutral. I turned it off. I agree with that. I agree with that completely. I find that I don't know, I guess like after COVID, like people are just like, no, I wanna be like, I don't want to take learning in person for granted anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing yesterday went great. We had like a full turnout, so
Was that online or in person? Oh, it was in person, right?
no, it was in person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like women from all different ages, from like late 20s to like early 70s.
Wow. What was the event? What was it for again?
We were just doing like women business owners or women in business getting together to learn about like how to dress better and pose in photos, like to make yourself look good better.
Nice.
And then I did like a wellness hormone thing, and then my friend Dina is like an HR and executive coach, so she talked about like time management and effective planning and stuff, and we had some food and some networking, so it was cool.
Yeah. We have one of those too here. It's called Ventura County Business Women meet like twice a month and yeah, everyone gives their stuff and learns from each other. Let's go.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's great that you guys are doing that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see. Sweet Pea, you want to look at the camera? Say hi.
Hi. What's his name?
She's all wet
Her
from the
name?
ocean. Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea. Hi, Sweet Pea. You got some good ocean time. It's great.
Oh, she did. She didn't want to get out.
Yeah. Dogs love that stuff. My cat just had kittens yesterday.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
she's young. Yeah, she's young. She's like under a year, but it was her first litter, and there's five little squiggly things in the basket.
Are you gonna keep them?
I don't think so. We will keep them for like until they're bigger, but probably give them away to new homes. I might keep one, but I don't. We're not even supposed to have two cats as it is. So
So, do you have both the mom and the dad?
Well, I think the dad might be from around the neighborhood. Like there's just different cats roaming around, and so there might be like two or three different dads. We have her brother, and I don't know if he's one of the dads or not. Can't really tell at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hi,
Oh, so yeah.
Muhindo. Is that
Hey, how are
hi?
you?
Good.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's a
You're
pleasure to have you here, guys. Hope you're fine.
Thank you. We are.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
yeah. Good to see you too. Masa, are you fine?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm called Muhindo from Uganda.
I heard it's like midnight.
Yep, yep. I have here my brother Rogers. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Rogers.
Hey Tracy, how's the going?
Good. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. It's really been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing as good as I can be, since all things considered.
Amazing.
How about you?
Not so bad. So far, so good. One step at a time, and we thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Um. I'm personally pleased again to see you after a good time.
I know.
It has been quite a number of days. I know you've been busy up and down, but such a pleasure and an opportunity to have everyone today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited to connect. We've only got me, Allison, and you two. I wonder if we should wait or um I can just give you, Allison, a short introduction. I met Muhindo and Rogers on LinkedIn or somewhere through maybe WSS, and they're coaches and teachers at a refugee camp in Uganda. So they have like 150 kids that they are tending to every day in different various classrooms and activities and sports and art. And so they have a big role in their community. So
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you have to say about like health and wellness in your community. What's going on there? Um,
On our end.
yeah, I mean, once we get started, I want to know like, yeah, what brings you here? What your perspective is on health and wellness, whether it's, yourself or the kids you're working with or just anything that you're curious about. I guess it's, 1:10, so we can get started because why wait any longer?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
okay, awesome. So you all know me, so I don't have to introduce myself in a bigger way. My goal with this is just to really learn from each other. What are the needs? What are people's interests and needs in health and wellness? What are they struggling with? And then also, what are the solutions? Like we have Allison here, and she knows a lot about health, and she's trained and she works in it every day. So people who have solutions can be here too and say, well, this is what I found, and this is what I think, and check out this article, so that we can learn from each other and really give each other, meet each other in the needs and the service of health. So my passion is with giving the body what it needs to be fully thriving and healthy and balanced. There's so much illness in the world. There's cancer, there's infections, there's so many things. And I just, for some reason, my path is like really focused on how can we treat our bodies so that they're well, there's not a problem. And I think it's the same with the earth. It's a parallel because the earth is the same as our body. It's how can we treat our body or the earth better too, and give her what she needs or what it needs. So I see them as one and the same. And I think it's the foundation. Everyone who doesn't have health they're not able to function at full capacity. So I think it's a foundational need of like having good health. So I just really want people to have the resources to get good health. I mean, there's someone in Kenya now who's telling me he has a tooth infection and he's raising money to get his tooth helped. And I'm like, wouldn't it be great if he had all the resources to like really just even fight the infection on his own, not have to get surgery? So all these things where we can really take care of ourselves and know the natural remedy so we don't have to rely on doctors all the time, all this stuff. So that's my mission and why I'm here. And I'm happy to pass the mic to whoever wants to share an intro and why they're here and what they're passionate about. Thank you. You want to go, Allison?
Yeah, I'll go. Thank you. That was really awesome. Hi, I'm Allison. I started learning more about health and wellness back in 2015, so about 10 years ago when my body was just kind of shutting down and the doctors didn't really have any answers for me or any solutions. So I really took things into my own hands and really figured out that I knew actually nothing really about health or my body. And it has been such a long journey, and I feel really bad for the people who are stuck and believe that there's only one way to be healthy and that's doing as the doctor says and relying on pharmaceuticals because really nobody knows their own body better than themselves. And especially, I don't know what it's like in Africa, but here in the United States, as a patient, we are constantly gaslit by our doctors, meaning that something will be wrong and we'll try to express that, and they will brush it off saying it's no big deal or it's just this, just take this medication and it will go away. And that's very disempowering and it's not validating, right? It's like it feels very disrespectful and people feel unimportant and just like they don't matter. And our bodies are the most valuable thing that we have. And so I am here. My hope with this is just to get people together, even just to start like just raising awareness of taking care of our bodies and that, it doesn't need to be this expensive journey and that there's so many simple little things we can do and that really being healthy can be a lot more simple than the world makes it out to be, especially here in America. There's like wellness has become so like commercialized that it feels unattainable for a lot of people, but really it's not. Small compounded actions bring big results.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's good to hear from both of you. I'm actually impressed with the passion that you've developed so far, Tracy. It really resonates very well with some of the big challenges that we really face as being in a refugee camp, and part of Africa, Africa when it comes to healthcare and well-being. No one cares, and it's more of personal. If you really not treating yourself to the best or to the better, it's all upon you, and no one really is behind to follow up on how you are caring about yourself and what are the measures are you taking so that you can protect maybe yourself, or maybe find ways of maybe doing the personal hygiene to prevent some of diseases to really not grab you on the way. So me speaking in a perspective of looking at the place where we are living now, and with the activities that we are doing with the children, I'm very interested, very much interested to learn more, and also just also willing to know what are those steps that we also need to apply on ground here, so we can fight not only for us ourselves, but also for these young children, which is something very crucial for them, because these are not they are not only going to use this for themselves. Also, they're also going to transfer this to their homes, and from their homes to the community. So it's quite big, it's quite huge. So what I wanted to really learn, maybe if before I start, speaking of some of the challenges that are relating to well-being and health, I'm looking at it into very big aspect, whereby it plays around with the mind, that is emotional aspect, the physical one, and the mental part of it also, because when you really not really taking care of your mental health, it's a big challenge. And when we look at the aspect of being a refugee and dealing with refugees, it's more of, dramas and traumas. So it's really into the aspect of really taking care of yourself when it comes to mental health. So I just wanted, maybe I would share that later on, but I just wanted to hear from both of you out of your experiences. I know it might be different from where you are and where you're living in America compared to what we are really seeing on ground here in Africa, and exactly in a refugee camp. It's quite very different, and the experience is a bit, challenging to us. But I would really love to, or we would really love to hear your experiences, and how do you think we can address this and make sure that we are at least giving the best out of it, and give this to the community, and maybe give to these children, and it will move to generation to generations.
Adding on what Rogers he said about trauma, and this is something that we always face here in Achival as refugees, and you find that most of the children, they are having that issue of trauma, and when you are mental health, you have mental health problems, it's really hard, like to think about self-caring, and this always come with the children, and when you're a child also, there's something that you don't know, something that you really need to learn. And we always face this challenge. We found that most of the children that we have, they have trauma, they are traumatized. Something that it's always like being a big issue for us, like to deal with. And also we can like it can be really fun if we can learn about how we can be dealing with such children, because we found that having trauma is mentally, but sometimes come like physical. You try to to show something and you forget about yourself. Something that is not really fine for the children and for the youth.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing what's most like needs most attention with mental health. And I think that's really a really good point. I was talking a lot about the body and how the physical body and how to keep it healthy, but really the emotions and the mind are huge contributors to our physical health. They all work together, and I know Allison knows a lot about this as well. So I would be curious to hear what she has to say. And I would also just want to add one thing about peace sticks, which is the the game that you saw playing, and we got the description for how to make the peace sticks. This is a game where you can kind of maybe ease trauma out of the body because you're getting into this flow state of giving and receiving and being open, and you're working with somebody else. So there's a mirror there, there's a partner. So you have to kind of cooperate with them and feel good with them. So it's kind of, I think it's a good practice to relieve some trauma from the body. And there's so many more things. So what are your thoughts, Allison? Or what does
What
that bring
game
up
are
for
you
you?
talking about?
It's called Peace Sticks. My friend invented it. I'll show you a video. It's two sticks that you pass them back and forth with a partner, and you have to and it puts you into the flow state, and it's really fun. And you listen, like you're listening to music, you play the game, and you get into like the person who invented it. He's like, I've seen kids like they'd be really scared maybe of like the stick coming at them, but like once they got into it, like the fear kind of melted away. So yeah, I'll show you more about that, but it's just one
That sounds,
idea.
uh, yeah, I mean, I think that when we have a traumatic experience, right, our body goes into that fight or flight mode, but a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to do either of those, and we just kind of freeze. And all that energy that we've built up to get away from the threat then has nowhere to go. And so it ends up getting itself stuck in the body and bringing on this like repeated response anytime a trigger is there. Um, and so I think that embodiment, like practicing being present with the physical body and not dissociating, is a really good practice, because when something traumatic like that happens and you freeze, a part of you is dissociating in order to like protect yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all those ways. And so coming back into the body with a game like that, with dancing, with movement that's conscious, right? Not just like unconscious movement where you kind of check out, but like yoga, right? Or stretching, when you're moving the body and you're linking it to the breath at the same time. Like, hey, you're trying to, stretch this way while you inhale and move this way when you exhale, and creating that like cohesive response between the nervous system and the body. And I think dance is also a really great like daily practice for people who have been affected by trauma, like just bringing in that joy again to the body, like letting the body experience joy and like free movement, and like feeling that it's safe to move in a way that feels good. So yeah, in my experience and from what I know, I find like conscious movement to be one of the best practices for that. And like moving, having a conscious moving practice once or twice isn't really gonna fix anything, right? It's the consistency, like doing that every day, making the space to reset your nervous system over time, that I think is what really helps people.
Awesome. Yeah. There's so many modalities like that. Like there's Qigong, there's like dance, yoga. So, and if you guys have access to YouTube, there's lots of classes on there for free that you can take from people. Just to follow up with that. Do you have any, what came up for you with that?
Something I would really want to also ask, like adding to what you've just spoken. My question would be, how should those activities be given to the people who are really undergoing the mental health problem? Should that be on a daily basis? Should that be most of the time? Just willing to know.
And another question is like, because I remember recently we did a survey, and we wanted to know how our children are living at their homes. But we found that these children are passing through a lot, like if they don't have water, access to good water, they don't have food sometimes, and maybe we find that someone is coming in the morning without even water, drinking, without having food, and it's something that's always coming. Like we may like do it today. We may play football, of course, or try to find any game that we play to at least fight against that. But you find that this is something that is coming, always coming. It's just like life that he's passing through. It's the one that is like bringing trauma, coming for more times. You find that you may do it for some hours. Of course, he's going to be happy, but again, it's going to come when he's going to remember about what he's passing through, and you find him that's, yeah, I have lost the control and back to the situation where he was before.
I was muted. Thank you for sharing that. So you're saying that one question was like, how often do we do this practices and how to give it to people? And then two was that it seems like they're normally good doing activities during the day, like football, but then at one point during the day, the emotional trauma of whatever they felt happened earlier that day or whenever comes up and they get kind of uncontrollable in that moment, and you maybe want to know what to do in that moment or to prevent that.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's what do you think, Allison? Or do you want me to go or you go?
You go if you want. Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with what Tracy said. The YouTube is an amazing resource if you have access to that. There's so many different free self.
She froze. Oh, you'll be back.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that every day is important, even if it's only for a little bit each day. I think, again, it's like the consistency, the routine that's like really healing. Like having routine feels safe in a person's body, right? So like when there's no structure, especially for somebody that's been traumatized, is a refugee, doesn't know what the rest of their life looks like, at least having some sort of stability and routine where they are can be really grounding. in itself, I think. And what was the other question? Forgot.
About the emotional, like dealing with the emotional outbursts during the day or preventing that
Oh,
or
yeah.
dealing with that in the moment.
Well, I mean, I am a big proponent of learning how to control your breathing, right? Because when you get angry or upset or anxious, you notice your body starts to feel different, right? Maybe you get shaky or anxious, your heart beats really fast, you start breathing a little bit faster, more shallow. And so, if your breath is so affected by your emotions, you can also reverse that and slow your breath down to then change your emotional state. So, one technique that I find works really well to relax the nervous system is taking it, like when you breathe out, making that twice as long as the time it takes you to breathe in, right? So you could inhale for 4 seconds and then exhale for 8, really long and slow. And what I tell people that I work with is like, imagine you're saving your breath to blow out a bunch of candles, right? Like you have to really breathe out slow and control that breath and really focus on it in order to have enough energy to do that. And so when I'm working with people that don't know how to really control their emotions, that is the example I'll give them. And we'll practice just taking those long exhales to relax the body. And that's another thing that can be practiced daily, right? At a certain time, maybe it's right when you wake up or right before going to sleep or before you eat lunch or whatever time it can be consistent for that person, and just have them practice like the same way that you would, keep working out a muscle to help it get stronger is the same way that you want to practice with the breath so that when the emotional outburst does come, taking the deep breath feels very natural because it's something you do every day. Taking the long exhale feels very natural because it's something you do every day. It's not something you have to like really think about to make yourself do it. Um, so yeah, again, like that just comes.
Maybe she'll come back.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you went through just
Yeah,
one blank spot, but you're back.
Oh, okay.
We heard everything.
Yeah, and I think just the more, okay, yeah, cool. The moral of it is just, I think, like consistency with whatever practices you bring in, like setting
Mhm.
that routine.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, breath work, we could say a lot more about it. Alice and I actually both did a training for breath work, and it's something I should be doing every day, but I don't. But it's just like exercise or walking or like it's a meditation. It's one of those things that's so good for anyone because and they like you can transform consciousness the fastest through the breath because it's the closest thing we have to like our life and death is like our breath, right? So so there is a great video instructor on YouTube called Breathe with Sandy. I'll write it down for you later, but he does like 10-15 minute classes where you just follow he counts the inhale and the exhale, and he does lots of different breathing techniques like holding it at the bottom or humming when you're exhaling, different things. So, and I really like his what he offers, and that yeah, I would say finding a time with the students or the kids to do it daily, like Allison said, like a certain time every day that they do it, or you know half yeah, just finding a way to incorporate that into the daily rhythm would be really great. And also I think that emotional stuff, like when it comes out, like, yeah, finding a way to really sit with that person, and like there's other things like tapping emotion. It's called emotional freedom technique, and I can write this down for you later too, but it's a way to like let the emotions move through the body and process them. And I think it's just really important that that people feel held when they're having emotions, like they feel like they can actually feel them, instead of like, oh no, we have to do this activity, like why are you being emotional? Instead saying like, taking a time out for them and saying, okay, let's work through this, let's get you through this. So whether that be through breathing or tapping or talking, anything to just let them have, you know, express what they're feeling. It just feels good to feel heard and seen in those spaces. I'm sure you know that, and I don't know if you guys might already do that. And yeah, that's all for me for now. What do you think? What's How does all that sound?
Yes, awesome. It's good to hear from you, and we are really connecting to some of the activities that we really need to be doing on a daily basis, so we can really address these
Mm.
mental health issues that these children are going through. And even we personally, we also having some issues too, because we have different, sometimes it comes back what we went through before reaching here at Nachi Valley, and then sometimes it comes back and you feel like you're giving up on everything. So I think these practices are also going to help us as well, not only the children, but also us. And yeah, we were really trying to implement the storytelling aspect of whereby we were trying to impress this by knowing that, by believing that the more we share our stories, the more we get to release the pain, and we get to forget about maybe what happened to us. Because when I share with you my story or share what I went through to Coach Amtundi, I'm able to know. I mean, I'm like I'm sharing that burden with him, and maybe at the end of it all, after sharing with 4 people, I'll feel like, the burden is no longer on only me. I've really shared it with the 4 people. So that's also was an aspect of trying to also tap on that mental health, and try to also support them in that very way. So basically, we're also going to involve these some of these practices that you've really shared with us. And as far as also we also need to look into the YouTube channels and where we can maybe get more information. I hope this can also support, but in the meantime, but still, if we get any challenge and issue with it, I hope we can still come back and inquire, or maybe come up with more different questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in doing, an ongoing thing, um, as long as it feels like it's, we're supporting each other and it's working, and no one's getting, taxed of their energy, or, so I feel like it's important to build, like, yeah, and I don't always know what that looks like. But if there's a meeting space available like once a month or every 2 weeks, then that's all you really need. You just come and you see what's up. That's what I learned at WSS. You don't really have to have an agenda or a plan. You just come back and say, how's it going? So, yeah, I'm open to that. And it sounds like you are, because you want to progress. You want to keep the progress. So I support that. And yeah, the stories are interesting. I feel like we all have those stories, like even myself, like how do we be more practice vulnerability with people and feel safe sharing what we're really going through? I think that's something that I'm looking at right now for myself. Like, I don't always want to put that on my intimate partner. Like sometimes we have like a spouse or a person that we can go to with those things, but I don't always feel even like I want to or comfortable bringing that to them all the time. So like a place where we can actually feel safe to like say what's really going on for us. Like, here's 3 minutes of my deeper, intimate like feelings about my life or what I'm going through, I think that's really actually helpful to be able to let that out, like you're saying, and not have to carry the burden all by myself, but say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. So I'd love to bring that into this space too. At some point, whether it be today or in the future.
Exactly.
What else? Anything?
What do they expect to Yes, also like coming back to the question, like yeah, I said about sometimes like okay, I know that most of like everyone, like we always wish like to live the best life that we really want, to have the joy, but sometimes you find that like you find like even the place you're living, the situation also is taking you like, yeah, is making like the hardship life you're passing through um is making you like not really taking care of your health, like. And because I've been like some of the children have been coming to me and try to share with me about their stories, how they live at home, and you just hear that it's tough for them. They don't have food. They are hungry. Hunger also is a big challenge that we always face as as in our community. I can say in all the refugee settlements, and this always like bring us like to think much, and also to not like even like sometimes I can say sometimes also um to even like we lose like hope of living, because when you don't have food, it's really become hard. Because I remember one day I was passing on the streets, and children were like trying to say, because yeah, we are now known here because we deal with the children, and when you are dealing with the children, they go and tell their friends, and you find that you are known in the place. Then they were like, yes, it's yesterday I didn't eat. Like I came and tell them, hi, how are you guys? Yeah, guys, we need to go to school. We need to be like we are the next generation of tomorrow. We need to be happy. Yeah. But they say no. For us, this is our life here on the streets. If we need to come here to beg for food to get what, and also we don't know if we can be happy if we don't have food. We don't know if we can really take care of ourselves. Like if we're hungry, we don't really know. I don't know if such things you can like advise what to such issues.
Yeah. It reminded me there is a project where they're doing bone broth for schools or children. I wonder if you could get connected with that project. It's in Sierra Leone, which is a different country, but we could probably ask them if they can give you the setup but yeah, I think food is essential for any kind of, balanced life, feeling like they could even think in school. They would need to be well fed first. So, maybe finding ways to can you do any grant writing to get food for to have more stock of food for them or yeah, those are my two ideas right now. Do you have nonprofit status or how do you get donations?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we are registered as an local organization, and also we have some organization here that's they're international, like Allied. If you have heard of Allied, these are people that always support us with some materials like books, pencils, chalks for the children, sometimes balls. Yeah, those are the people support us also. Like on social media also we try to talk to people and tell them about the problem that we are facing. Yeah, I remember last time you also did something great. Yeah, it's the way we always do, like try to talk to people, friends, connections, telling them about the situation, the way we are trying like to make change, to help our community. And you find that there's some people who are really want to donate, to give something, to also come with us also to solve the problem.
Yeah. Do you feel like I see you provide a lot of food at your school? Do you have do you think you could use more food to feed more children? Like, is that something you're looking for? Or do you?
Yeah, no, we really like want to at least like even if we don't give enough food, but at least we really need to at least giving small, because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really a big challenge, and it's fun for the children. And
Mhm.
when they don't eat, it's really totally but wrong. Even they cannot get what you're saying. They cannot do,
Yeah.
like,
Of course.
it's hard for them to do anything when
Of
they're
course.
hungry.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should look into that bone broth thing and some other options.
So,
Thank you for bringing that forth. It's really important.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I just wanted to say that, I'm sorry that that is a struggle for you guys. And yeah, I see your strength and your resilience and like your deep care for these children and making sure that, you know, they have what they need. And, even you guys being here at 1 in the morning and just trying to do everything you can for them is just really amazing to see. And you guys are really incredible. Thank you for all that you do for humanity.
Thank you too.
Totally. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is a good conversation and very revealing of what we can focus on. So I'm happy you shared, and I will definitely reply with like a list of my suggestions. And is there anything else before we close that anyone wants to say or offer?
Yeah, yeah, we I would say thank you so much for this opportunity. Uh, yeah, about uh dealing with trauma, we shall like uh try to also do some research on YouTube, like the breathe in, breathe out exercises, also doing some maybe dance, even if you don't know how to dance, but it's I know it's about shaking the body and being happy. Yeah, we shall try the children and make sure that yeah, we try our level best to make sure that also they learn about health, wellness. Yeah, and they will be so happy, and it's what we want. We always want them at least to smile. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that he has just said it all. And the place where we operate from, we call it a home. So basically, it's a home for these children, and we call ourselves fathers, fathers of 100+ children. It's hard, you know. And yeah, that's what this is. This is what brings us together. This is what connects us to these children, and it's a family. So it's more of really doing things as a family, trying to solve problems in a bigger aspect than being alone, but really solving a problem together. That's why we really work along, trying to empathize with these children, try to understand, to hear them, and give what we can, give and support them in a way that we can. So that's what drives us, and that's why we wake up every morning to go and support them. Yeah, that's what I can share. And thank you for having us today.
Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. It's really good work, and I'm happy to be part of it. And I would like to, I wish I could do more, and I'll try for sure. There's a doggy. Hi, doggy. Oh, yeah, I consider you my family too, and I'm so glad you see all those children. You've taken them on as your own sons and daughters, and that's how I feel about, everyone I work with as well. It's like humanity is my family, and we need to help each other, and just, yeah, look after each other. So yeah, we'll keep going. And yeah, we can offline, we can talk about when's a good next time to meet, and we can in the meantime chat about what's going on. And yeah, thank you for being here, Allison, and sharing your wisdom. It's really important, what you shared about the breath and movement. And yeah, I really value your like expertise and knowledge, because you've had a lot of experience.
And, routine too. I think that's really important. Like giving the kids some structure, like they know what to expect each day. That will create a sense of safety. You know what I mean? Like, okay, at this time every day we're gonna do our dance or whatever it is, and they'll know to expect that, and their bodies will slowly start to relax.
Yeah. Okay. Well noted.
Awesome.
Well, good luck. And it was really nice to meet you guys, and I look forward to hearing how how you guys progress.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll talk soon, and get some sleep if you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
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 Oh, yeah.